Okay, now this is kind of a Band-Aid presentation because we wanted to get something out there, but our main person who worked on this is not currently available. So I'm just creating this presentation kind of ad hoc with little bits of information that we know should be out there. I might be able to answer some questions for you. I might not because I'm not that in tune with this project. But I'm going to talk a little bit about the Popular Works collection. I did put a creation one. So there's the Collection HQ project that was going on last year through LSTA. As part of that, we got a Baker and Taylor credit for our use of Collection HQ project. I'm not going to go into the details on that one right now because I would need a drink. But basically, we had some credit to buy materials, and SELCO decided that we would purchase some popular collection items at the time just so we could run some experiments on it, have a control group versus the regional policies affecting ILL and local request, things like that. So we went out and purchased these items and created their own separate I-types. They have no real restrictions on them whatsoever, including they don't have any priority for SELCO staff to get them if we place a request on them. So that was the idea behind it, no priority whatsoever. They are bound to the region, meaning that they were set not to go out to MinLink ever. They did stay in the region for it so we could see how things went. And some of them were sent to our individual libraries to live at their locations but still follow our circulation rules and see how that went. So the one thing that we did notice here in SELCO was requesting had some interesting effects on them. Currently, we have 52 of the items sitting available either on our shelves or yours out of the 84 that exist in this collection. I looked through them yesterday, and out of them, 13 could be filling requests in the region right now, but they are sitting on shelves because all of these requests were placed on item level. So our items are not going out to fill them. Well, honestly, a number of them have also gotten to the point where the work is old enough that there aren't any remaining requests on it in the region, or the ones that are out there have already been filled. Of the titles which still have requests on them, meaning more than about 20 requests, I looked at the request queues for all of them, and about the top third of them were a majority of item-specific requests, which is showing me that these item-specific requests are sitting out there and not being filled, while bib requests have been. So that's what I'm saying. And I looked at one of them, and it had an item-specific request going back to January 15th that has yet to be filled, while the oldest bib level request was September 12th. So that patron has been sitting for that, waiting for that book for 8 months now, while everyone else's requests have been filled just because they've placed an item level request on it. So what we're seeing as SELCO staff is a number of these items aren't filling requests when they could be, and that is really kind of irksome to us and probably to our patrons as well out there. And it's item level requests. They create problems. Like, for example, I was talking to Becky. I'm totally dragging you into this. And she had an item checked out, and she's like, I'm not quite done yet. I need to renew it. She went in to renew it. She could not because there was a request out on it. She looked at the bib. There were 7 copies available in the region. Someone had placed an item level request on it, meaning she couldn't renew her copy even though there were other ones out there. So that's what we're seeing so far with requesting. A lot of item-specific requests when they are unnecessary. I don't really know what the implications are on LR. Maybe Cheryl would have some more information on that when she returns. But we started seeing this a while ago, that our copies are coming back in while there's still a number of requests out there and filling up our shelves, and they could have been filling other ones. So we just want to make people in the region aware of this. I would recommend, well, for one thing, if you have the opportunity to explain it to your patrons, the difference between item-specific requesting and bib-level requesting, and encouraging bib-level when possible. Of course, the exceptions exist for the magazines and the DVD, TV series, which are broken out into the discs, or other things that are broken out like that. Or in a situation where you need a specific one, like I absolutely need that one that has the one preface, which I think that's happened like twice ever. And also, remember that you can go in and see all the requests for your region through the circulation reports window in Horizon. I recommend, well, SELCO recommends going in regularly and checking through your requests and seeing if there are any item-specific requests which should be changed to bid level ones to get a higher priority so they get filled. One concern that came up in my CERC 2 class last week, was there was some confusion, it sounds like, about whose items go to fill a request. Hopefully most of you know at this point that the circulation rules in the region follow the dustiest book in the region, meaning the one that has been sitting available the longest on the shelf. And then hopefully most of you know the exception to that as well, which is there is location priority to fill requests. If your copy is available on the shelf, your copy will go to fill your patron's request before the dustiest book will. So I know that student was talking about it, and she's like, oh, but I want our copy filling our request. I'm like, it will. The system is set up to do that first before it goes on to the next step. Okay, I'm certainly willing to field any questions so they go on the recording. Like I said, I might not be able to answer them. So, what do you got for me?
What do you mean by item-specific request? Is that
request this copy only?
Okay. And you don't want us to do that?
Generally, every once in a while it gets things faster for you, but generally it can screw up the system and slow things down a bit. So I always recommend bib level requests, except for when you need to place an item level 1. Okay, if that is all, I'm certainly willing to release you for your break. We're a little bit behind, but I can in half. So let's take 10 minutes and be back at a couple minutes before the hour.